What's up, gang? Willie Rebuild, baby, back with another one. Update on the old Cutlass LS swap, diesel, diesel converted into gas. LS swap Cutlass, baby. As you can see, still been working, moving and grooving, little bit at a time. Ran into a few roadblocks. One of them was I didn't like the F-body radiator because on the F-body radiator, the upper radiator hose come out up here at the top, and on my GTO radiator, it come down here at the bottom, so it give me clearance to run my breather to the driver's side, so it can clear the AC compressor. Because if I try to switch it around up in here, I don't like the breather sitting up in there in front of the compressor. So if we run an AC, I like to run the breather to the driver's side right over the computer. Another thing that we ran into was put the mode in. As I told y'all in the last video, I know it's been a little while since I made a video because once I'm working and moving and I'm in stride, I don't really like to stop. Then when I gotta stop and wait for ports and stuff like that, then I jump on another call and start doing something else. So basically what happened was when I was putting the oil pan on, well, not the oil pan, but when I was changing the oil pan, I said, you know what? Since I pulled the engine back out the car, I might as well go ahead and put the torque converter bolts in while the engine is out the car. In the process of me doing that, I turned one of the bolts, and I turned the crank too far because I had my torque wrench on the crank bolt. Remember, the engine was fully assembled when I brought it in here. So I had no reason to mess with nothing far as with the crank pulley or none of that. I only changed the oil pan because I was having a clearance issue. But when I grabbed the crank pulley and tried to turn it, the pulley was turning, but the flywheel, flex plate, whatever y'all want to call it, it wasn't moving. So at that point, I come to the front of the engine and I see that the crank pulley was spinning on the crank. So I called the customer and let him know what was going on. To make a long story short, the guy who we got to build an engine, what he did, he said he took a wire wheel and cleaned out the inside of the crank. It's a press-on crank pulley. So why are you running a wire wheel inside of there and you only had the engine for a couple of weeks maybe? Changing bearings and stuff in the engine and putting it back together. So the pulley shouldn't have had that much rust in the snout of it for you to be doing that. But what he did was, I'ma say it, he stripped the fucking bolt hole. That's right, I'm saying what he did. Y'all know Willie Rebuild gonna tell it how it is. He stripped the bolt hole inside of the crank. Then he machined the inside of the pulley with a wire wheel, whatever he used. He took some material out of the crank pulley so the crank pulley can slide all the way on the crank, but the bolt wasn't actually all the way tight and the crank pulley was just spinning on the crank. Then he tells the guy, oh, maybe your mechanic might have did it, the guy who putting it in. For what? If you bring me a fully assembled engine, I can put the fucking engine in with the crank transmission, the crank pulley transmission and all that shit on there. The only thing I did was took the accessories off so I don't, ding or dang nothing up putting it in, because this shit sit kind of wide. But I mean, if I wanted to, I can drop it in with all the accessories on there if I had to. But it don't make sense. I went ahead and fixed it for the guy for free. I got a thread cleaning tool, a tap, and ran it in there a few times, cleaned the thread, got the bolt in, fixed the problem. So, it was a few little things off of camera that I had to do. But other than that, he got the radiator for me. I just gotta do a little modifying to the fans, cause those fans that he got, which is right here behind Willie Rebuild chair, I need to do a little modification to them so I can get them to mount to the radiator clean without putting the little zip tie thingies in there to get it to work. But other than that, I ran my fuel pump wire. That's my fuel pump wire down there. I ran it like I run all the rest of them. As you can see, I ran my fuel pump wire right through here, so I don't have to make an extra hole through the harness where the tail light go, and out the car, under the car, and down there to the fuel pump. I got my line and my fuel pump, my fuel lines and the harness for the fuel pump in there. I wired up the starter gang, so I got power in the car. I can't start it right now because I haven't ran my wires inside the car. The only wire I got inside the car is the fuel pump wire, and it's not even hooked up because I haven't ran the harness in. But as you can see, I got everything lighting up, working. If you bump the key, it will spin over. Not gonna start. I'm not trying to start it right now because the engine don't even have oil in it. Just bump the key. Didn't spin it over. Just bump the key to let you see that got power to the harness. This my wires right here for the computer, my fuel pump wires and all that, and my fan wires right here. Need to run them inside the car. Basically all the wiring under the hood is done. Gotta hook up my 2 transmission lines. I hooked up the intercooler and all that. Didn't hook up the transmission lines yet because, like I said, I gotta do a little modification to the radiator to get that to go. But everything else is on. Headers on, all pressure sensor. Oh, temp sensor down there in the back. I gotta get another one because I got the wrong sensor, and I need to hook up my vacuum lines. Trying to bring y'all back up to speed, gang. I got the mount and tied everything in up under the car. The bracket that go here on the side, as you can see, tied all that in. So all that's tight and good and ready to go. So I gotta make my drive shaft, hook up my fuel line, and we should have fire in the hole, gang, this week. We should have fire in the hole. Oh yeah, one more thing. I gotta take the ECU and get it tuned. One guy told me I need to get the HP tuner, but at the end of the day, bro, I don't try to do everything. I mean, when somebody paying you to do something, it gotta be done right. I'm not a tuner, bro. I can do all this all day. I'm not a tuner. I never tried to tune. I got a tuner. So, you know, once I bring this 3 exits down the road to him, he'll put the bass tune in it for me and delete the VATs and all that stuff there. And once the customer put the exhaust and the gears and all that, like, it's a lot of stuff that you can do. If you're doing the swap, it's a lot of stuff that the mechanic or the person doing the swap sub out. Like one thing, exhaust. You might do swaps, but you're not exhaust man. You don't have the machines to bend the pipe for the exhaust or whatever. So same way with the wren. I mean, some people might do the gears and all that shit. But remember this, the more thing you do to this shit that you not professionally inclined at doing, and it fail, then that's most reason for them to bring the car back to you. And let the customer take the wren or whatever, the whole car, to the wren shop. Let them put the gears and all that shit in. And whatever happened after that, it's on him and that shop. Same way with the exhaust or whatever. But My tuner, I've been dealing with him for years. I know his work good, and I know he gonna do a good job, so I don't have a problem bringing the computer over there, 3 exits down, get it tuned. Once the code, all the VATs and stuff deleted, and I got everything on my end done, then we bring the whole code down there and put it on a dyno, and I'm cool with that. I don't have to, I leave room for other people to make money, man. I don't try to do everything. Now, you might see me doing some stuff to my car that's different because I got to pay for that. With this car, I don't have to pay for that. This customer car, he gonna bring his car wherever it need to go to get whatever done to it, what he need to get done. But that's neither here or there because we ain't even got the motor running yet. But once I get it running, well, before I get it running, I'm gonna get the bass tune put in it and it'll be ready to go. My tuner, he already got most of this stuff saved on files. It's basically the same stuff. We run it over and over and over again till people come and get something different done. And we got a lot of that on file too, because he doing what he do every day, just like Willie Rebuild do what he do every day. But that's enough rambling on. I was just giving y'all an update on the Cutlass, letting y'all know where I was at. I'm gonna come back later this week with fire in the hole. So far, I don't think we're gonna have no more mishaps. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. Let's get the channel monetized. I see the subscribers. I see y'all been sharing and liking. You know, y'all see what it is. Y'all see it's quality over here, baby. It's quality. We ain't doing swaps to ride around the block. We doing swaps. This man drove this car in here. This a daily driver. And when he get it back, he gonna be driving it, daily driving it to work. So it gotta be reliable, gang. So pay attention and stay tuned. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Is Willie Rebuild telling you, the guy at home watching the video, to subscribe to the channel is free, man. Get the channel monetized. Let's start making some moves, baby. Y'all want to see some other stuff? Let's make some moves. Then I'll start showing y'all a little bit more. Cause guess what? We got a lot of cars back here. I only show y'all what I want y'all to see until y'all start subscribing to the channel and get me on the move. Cause I need y'all to get me on the move. I'm doing my part by turning the wrenches, but I need y'all to do y'all part. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button and share these videos. It's Willie Rebuild telling you it's hot in this shop, and I'm about to finish turning wrenches, baby. Over and out.